Everybody, my name is Lioness Lizzie. Hi everybody. Hello, my name is Lioness Lizzie. In case you don't know me, I go by the name Lioness Lizzie. I live in South Australia and this is where I have called home for the past few years. I was born and raised from Kenya. So in case you are from Kenya, thumbs up. So in this video, in this channel, most of the time we talk about migration, lifestyle, and so many other things that we are finding interesting that we can cover and bring outside here for information, for interaction, for whatever you call it. So today I have had a question from a few of you people asking me about the skilled visa and how you can move to Australia on work visas, and I thought it is very important for me to come and do this a comprehensive video where I will discuss about skilled visas, I will discuss about permanent residency, I will discuss about the student visa so that you guys can understand where we are or where you sit at this point. So in case this is the first time you're actually coming here to watch me, please leave a thumbs up, let me know where you're watching from, and I really appreciate it. So I know most of you will be asking yourself, Lioness Lizzie, how can I move to Australia to work? How can I come to Australia and start working? This is a very common question from so many of you, and this is why I'm actually doing this video. I had taken a break because of the so many changes that we have been experiencing in home affairs, but I've decided to come back slowly as I educate you guys on what we are currently working on and what are some of the legislation that have been passed and some of the rules and law and all that. So let's start here. You all need to know that in case you want to move to Australia to work here, there's a streamlined pathway that you need to follow. There's a way that everyone will have to follow. It is not different from other people. It is just the same way that any other person will need to follow for them to get here and work on a work visa. So I will need to explain to you a little bit the foundation or the background of what work visa looks like. There are different type of work visas. There's someone who will come here and stay for 4 years. There's someone who will just get a 2 years long visa. There's someone who will get a 5 years long visa. There's someone who will come here on a PR, which means permanent residency. There's someone who will come here on a training visa. There's so many different kind of visa that can allow you to move here in Australia. One thing that is very common and you all need to understand is this: whatever you have studied need or must have fall under the skilled occupation list. What is skilled occupation list? On my previous video, I know I did a whole video explaining what the skilled occupation list is and some of the courses which fall under the occupation list. But I will leave a link on this video description so that you can check, you can Google, you can get onto the link and check whatever you have studied if it falls under the skilled occupation list. Basically, what this means is whatever you have studied, it has to be among the qualification or among the courses or among the occupations that are highly needed in this country. Let's say in Australia today we're experiencing a very massive demand in teaching profession, or maybe doctors or maybe nurses. So they will make sure that they put this occupation that they highly need under that list. Okay, so that is basically how it looks like. There's so many different occupation lists that in 2024 2025 they have been lined up there. You need to know that every year they do update or amend their skilled occupation list, so it is upon you to understand that whatever you are doing will stand on top of the bar in the market value. Okay, so that's the first thing and the main thing. So one thing you need to know is you don't just need to be a graduate. You need to have studied the right thing for you to move here on a work visa. Okay, so that's most important. I think now we are headed on the right way. So the second thing you need to know is your skills could have been maybe among the whatever occupation they're looking for, but maybe it is not on a very high demand. So let's say maybe at this point, like during COVID, they really needed nurses, healthcare workers, okay, cleaners. At this point, they want people who are in construction industry, you know, and that sort of thing, because we're experiencing that shortage in this country right now. So during that time, maybe that is what they needed, but at this specific time, the need and the demand has maybe shuffled. Maybe at this point, they need painters, they need builders, they need architectural engineers, and all those kind of people that can help in building and construction industry. And then maybe in health sector, it will come down there below. So this thing, they kind of like interchange as time goes. So this is one thing you really need to understand. Whenever you are doing any course, you need to make sure you are going for something that most of the time stands on the top of the bar. When we talk about this, those courses that will always remain on top of the game. So it is up to you to actually know. I will be coming up with more videos to educate on you on how to go for the good courses in case you're moving to Australia. So that is how it looks like. That is the minimum requirement. You need to be having gone to university or maybe a college. You have studied something that is needed in this country. The second thing you need to know is most of work visas will require you to have something called skill assessment. What is skill assessment? Again, I know I have done a whole video. You can check on my videos, but again, I will leave a link here so that you can check what skill assessment you will need in your occupation. But I will give you a brief information on what skill assessment look like. So let's say I use example to make people understand better. So let's say you have done social work, okay? And you, in your country, you studied social work, you completed, and at this point, maybe you're working in a non-government organization, you're working with the refugees and all other sectors, you know, working with people and community. What you will need to do is, Australian government will want you to submit your occupation qualification, that is your degree, and then all your papers, your transcript, your English requirement, so that they can go through it and see if what you are taught back at home is equivalent to what is taught in this country. So it is kind of like comparing the whatever you have studied versus what they offer. Most of the time you will get skill assessment positive or suitable if you did the right thing in your university. Again, another thing for you to note is this. When it comes to occupation and qualification, there's some work visas that will ask you just to have a diploma. There's some of the work visa that will want you to have at least a bachelor's. Saying this, something like nursing, you can come here with a diploma, EN. You can come here at a degree. If you're coming here as a social worker, they don't accept diploma. So you see those kind of like, you can even come here with other certificate 4s, like in cooking, painting, and all that. So you just need to know what qualification, what level, what meets what, okay? So you will need to have skill assessment that is suitable. Most of the skill assessment, they are not cheap, they are not free. You will need to pay for them. When we're talking about paying, we don't know. It ranges from $500 and above. I do help in applying skill assessment at this point. In case you're outside there, maybe you have done social work, you have done nursing, you have done engineering, you have done whatever you have studied. You can reach back to me. My number is always here. You can reach to me and I will help you to do your skill assessment. One thing you need to know it is that skill assessment is not free, okay? Once you get it positive, what do you do next? Guys, I know most of you are looking at me and you're like, what is this even lady talking about? Moving to Australia is not cheap. You require money to facilitate these sort of like steps that I'm talking about. Skill assessment, going for medical, going for what? So once you have your positive skill assessment, you will start looking for employer or sponsor. I will use something like a teaching right now in Australia is on a very high demand here in South Australia. Let me use South Australia. If you are a teacher back at home, please, you can proceed and do your skill assessment. And after your skill assessment, then you start looking for an employer. If you go online, you Google, you go on website, you will find employer. And I will do a whole separate video and educate you guys on how you can get some of the lawyers that provide employers here who can sponsor you on work visa. One thing you need to know, hold on, it is not for all occupation. They only demand those occupations that they're struggling with to fill in labor. So in providing labor in this country. So you need to understand that. Probably you have done something like, let's say, agriculture, and maybe in this specific time agriculture is not on demand. I'm saying maybe, or maybe it is on demand. So you really need to know that it depends with what they want versus what you guys have. Okay, so the second thing we'll be looking for the sponsor. Most of the sponsor, in case you're moving here on 482, some of them, they will offer you a short-term sorry, in 482 there are 3 streams. Okay, there's short-term, there's medium-term, and there's DAMA. Okay, so DAMA is labor agreement. So you need to understand, with short-term is only 2 years, with medium is only 4 years, and then with DAMA it's 4 years. They're all different. You need to understand, as a sponsor, what are they offering you? What do you want? Where can you live? It is all that. It looks easy, but when you start doing it is very complex. You will need to Google, you need to learn. It is something you can actually do, but you will need to give each day at a time for you to make sure that you're learning and improving yourself, to make sure that you're getting the right information so that you don't get up getting conned, losing your money and stuff like that. Anyway, guys, that is about the skilled workers. So I would advise you guys to sit down there and go back on your qualification, see what you're eligible to go for. There is this one interesting part of these skilled workers that is coming up soon, and it is even currently there in the market right now. It is called aged and disabled visa. Okay, I will call it visa, but it is under DAMA at this point, but it is they're bringing a whole visa. We'll talk about that when it is eventually here. But even at this time, if you're working in aged care and disability, you can actually do a skill assessment. Once you get it positive, you can proceed and go to the second part of looking for sponsor. You will get a sponsor who will sponsor you in 494. It's a visa. Again, it's another subclass of a visa, of a work visa. Okay, so you can get a sponsor who will sponsor you on that, and then after 3 years you apply for PR. You need to understand, even with aged care and disability, the only thing that you need to have at this point is your skill assessment and the sponsor who can offer you employment. For skill assessment, as I've told you, the minimum requirement you will need for aged care and disability is either that certificate 3, which is of equivalent of what they study here, or you must have worked in this industry for 1 year. So you need all either of them. So either you have just studied certificate 3 in aged or disability, or you have been working here for a whole year. So we can use the payslip or we can use the certificate. To make it easier and efficiency, what I advise people to do is, when you're coming for me to help you with skill assessment, especially for aged care and disability, because it's one of the hottest thing right now in Australia. Make sure at least you have all these things. You have your payslip, you have your certificates, you have your bank statement, you have your trainings, you have all these things up to current, so that we get a suitable skill assessment. It is doable. Most of people are doing this, especially for those people who have studied something that is not enabling them to get into PR. So in case you're there and you're wondering what can you do, what are things looking like from your end, is, you can opt for this. It is actually one of the most preferred visa that most of people are currently preferring. And you guys need to know, at this point in Australia, they are prioritizing work visas over any other visa. Anyone applying for work visas from regional areas, they're getting it like just that now. So another thing that I want to talk about, and that this I will just go through it on just quickly, because I think it is just very direct. So After you've been onto the work visa, or maybe you've been here onto the 485, you can proceed and go to the PR, permanent residency. And this is now where all the all the English comes in. There are different kind of the permanent residency visas. There's 190, there's 189, there's 186, there's a 491. But with 491, you will need to be to apply again for PR after 3 years. But in 491, you will have a Medicare. Okay, so when you get the 491, you get the Medicare. You will not need to pay the bills in hospital anymore. So what is permanent residency? Permanent residence visa is a visa that allows you to live in Australia permanently. Okay, you have all the benefit of other people. So when you have your permanent residency visa, that is when you start thinking about buying houses, you know, getting into the mortgage and all other those stuff that most of people, you know, who are citizens here experience. Getting child care support, I think you even get with 491. There's so many other support that you can get from government and other subsidies and loans. When you're in that visa, they know you're part of this community in this country. So when you're going to this visa, one of the requirements is you need at least to have had studied something, as we just said. Again, you cannot just apply for permanent residency without any background of education. So you need to have done something, and whatever you have done, it has to be on either occupation list or under the DAMA. Okay, so occupation list is the skills that I've just told you that they normally update every year. And again, with DAMA, you can find something like aged care and disability and other some of the courses that they are prioritizing in the rural, in the regional sides of Australia. So you will need to meet the requirement of applying for this visa, which includes having English requirement, at least 6 in each. And you know, the more points you get in English, the more it helps you to accumulate points. Most of the time, you need at least 65 points to apply for this visa. So the way they calculate your point, I think I will have to do another video just explaining and showing, and I will do this immediately next week, which is just 2 days away from today. I will do a video explaining to you and showing you how you calculate your points for PR and how you can build your points. So the way the way it is calculated, it includes the age. So if you lie between 25 and this and this and this, you get certain points. Okay, the English, if you got 6, 6, 6, 6, if you got 7, 7, 7, 7, if you got 8, 8, 8, 8, if you got 9, 9, 9. So there's superiors, there's proficiency, there's the whole. Okay, so it gives you certain points. There's NATI. NATI, you get 5 points. So NATI is like you learn the language of transferring English. English to certain language. Like for me, Swahili to English. So you get another 5 points in that. So if maybe you have studied in regional Australia, you get 5 points. If you've done masters or maybe bachelors, you get 15 points. So that is how you accumulate your 65 points and above. At this point, today, they said that Australia, we have clocked at 27 million population. So what this means is all these kind of permanent residency, they're going to be very competitive. I think you'll need to have higher points, of course, for you to increase your chances, or maybe to live in regional areas like where I live, or maybe go to rural to live there and see if you can, you know, get better chances. Because if you live away from the city, the better the chances. And when I mean away from the city, you need to be in regional areas like South Australia, Brisbane, Western Australia. Don't go to Melbourne. Is even Brisbane rural? I don't think Brisbane is rural. So these are some of the things that you need to have. Once you have that, you will express your interest. Don't forget skill assessment. Teachers, specifically teachers. I have seen so many teachers who've graduated here. You have your overseas qualification of bachelor's, and you are here, you're still doing your master's. You need to be empowered that with your bachelor's that you acquired back from your home country, you will be eligible to apply for skill assessment and get it positive. My people from Kenya, if you know you have gone through education system, you have studied, if you know you have done education, if you know you have done education in Kenya, teaching to be specific, please look for skill assessment. Once you get it positive, proceed and look for employer or apply, express the interest. Expression of interest is something very easy. Again, I help people to do that. If you're there, you're stranded, you don't know what to do, you can reach me, I will help you. Again, I am the founder of Exodus International Migration Agent and Training. In case you're here and you want to study with us, either caregiving, either to do your English, PTE and IELTS, either to apply for visas and do your skill assessment, you need to relocate maybe to other countries like UK, US, Canada, New Zealand, our sister here, or maybe Ireland, you can reach out. We provide services that will help you see your life internationally and thriving in a very seamless way. We are very authentic, we are genuine in the market. As you can see me, I'm very genuine, authentic. Anyway, today my outfit, you guys, I said on a previous video that my daughter Sasha, she's been inspired to look for an online store that should be doing clothes line. So this specific outfit has been inspired by Afri Luxury Boutique. In case you want to have those beautiful dresses and you know what, you can reach to me. I will show you the best outfits you will never see anywhere on this planet. Anyway, I want to wish you well. I'll be coming back with more information about each visa, and I will come back and educate you about the skill assessment of different profession. I will come and educate you about the point calculation and how you can improve your points. And if you've graduated, my friends, you guys stop working in disability unless you have skill assessment for aged care and disability. So many people, you've buried yourself in disability and you're not growing your profession. You will not get a positive skill assessment just because you're there. Until next time, I see you and I hope to see you here. Please leave the subscription button, the like, the whatever you want to make it look better, just do it. I love you.